we are getting good signals outside of Russia as to where we are with Russia.
When you work at the KGB for 15 years, you pick up a few things. When you rule a country for 25 years, you pick up a few more. Things like when to commit, when to delay, and when to reject. Vladimir Putin is putting all of that experience to use. The whole world was waiting for his answer to see if he agrees to a truce or not. And what does he do? Throw a googly. We thought Putin had two options here, yes or no. But he has picked a third option, maybe. Putin says he supports the idea of a ceasefire, but he has certain queries. Like who will monitor this truce? And what will happen after that? He is seeking clarity from the American side.
We agree with the proposals to cease hostilities, but we proceed from the fact that this cessation should be such that it would lead to long-term peace and would eliminate the original causes of this crisis. We should discuss it with our U.S. partners. Maybe we should have a call with President Trump and discuss it with him. But we support the idea itself to finish the conflict in a peaceful way.
That was Thursday evening. Later that night, Putin had an important meeting with Trump's envoy Steve Witkoff. Then this morning, Witkoff boarded a flight back to Washington. He is carrying a message from Putin to Trump. Over in D.C., the U.S. president is still hopeful. He says Russia is willing, or Russia will do the right thing.
We know where we are with Ukraine, and we are getting good signals outside of Russia as to where we are with Russia. And hopefully they'll do the right thing. It's really humanity. We're talking about humanity. We're not talking about the money.
Now, some of Putin's queries are genuine. Like, what will this truce be used for? Will Ukraine get more weapons in this time? And what if someone breaks the truce? Who monitors and verifies the violations? Until these questions are answered, Vladimir Putin will not accept a deal. The question is, what is his end goal? Is Russian President Putin just buying more time? Or is he genuinely seeking clarity? That is the question. Now, Ukraine says it is the former. Ukraine believes that Putin is just buying time here. President Zelensky released a statement yesterday. He says Putin cannot directly say no to Donald Trump, so he's slowly preparing the ground for a rejection.
We have all now heard very predictable and highly manipulative words from Putin in response to the idea of a ceasefire at the front. He is in fact preparing a rejection at present. Putin is, of course, scared to tell President Trump directly that he wants to continue this war, that he wants to kill Ukrainians.
Putin's dilemma is clear. If he says yes, he must pause the fighting soon, at a time when he is making gains on the battlefield. Last week, Russia liberated a key town in Kursk. They have retaken almost 90% of the land from Ukraine. In Kursk. At such a point in the war, a truce is risky. If it falls apart, Putin would have wasted valuable time. But saying no is also risky because it plays into Ukraine's hands. You see, Zelensky is betting on Putin rejecting this truce. Only then can he flip the narrative. So far, Donald Trump has been blaming Zelensky for playing hardball, for refusing to stop the fighting. But if Putin says no to this truce, then that blame would shift to Russia. Do you see the dilemma here? Perhaps that's why Putin said maybe, to buy more time to make a calculated decision. So then the question is, what happens next? A lot hinges on Putin's talks with Donald Trump. The Kremlin says the conversation is necessary, and on his part, Trump is game.
And yeah, I'd love to meet with him or talk to him, but we have to get it over with fast. You know, every day people are being killed. It's not like, as we sit here, 2 people will be killed. Think of it.
Putin has a clear objective here. Last time he spoke to Trump, things moved very fast. Within days, US and Russian officials met in Saudi Arabia, and they agreed to end the war in Ukraine. So Vladimir Putin will be hoping for a repeat to sway Trump during their phone call. We can only speculate about what comes next. But there is one thing we can say for sure, that this peace will not come easy. For starters, there are way too many players in the field. Obviously, you have got Russia and Ukraine, the two key parties, but beyond them, you also have Europe. You have Britain and the United States, and all of them add to the complexity. That is one part of the problem. Secondly, look at the differences over a truce. Remember, this is not a final peace deal. This is just a 30-day pause, a sort of stepping stone to a final settlement. And yet, both sides are unable to agree on it, on a 30-day pause. So how will they get a peace deal done? It looks virtually impossible right now, but we can only hope that that changes.
Firstpost brings you the Ideas Pod at the Raisina Dialogue 2025, the largest gathering of global policymakers, thought leaders, and innovators, now on the fastest growing international news platform. Big ideas, big debates, big impact. Only at the Ideas Pod.
Raisina Hill.
Firstpost gives you front row access to the conversations that matter most. The Ideas Pod. Raisina Dialogue 2025 on Firstpost. From March 17th to March 19th.